Hello, my name is Taylor Hosmer. I'm going to be talking about volunteer geographic information, also known as VGI. So what is VGI? VGI is where individuals volunteer their time and effort to create, assemble, and disseminate geographic information. Michael Goodchild coined the term in 2008 after noticing an explosion of data collection that was being made by citizens. But what does this really mean? VGI uses human sensors to collect data. This can be done with anything really, phones, computers, just as long as it can record data in its geographic location. Because of this, VGI is known as citizen science, because it does not require trained professionals. Virtually anyone can do it. Think of Yelp. As users, we create reviews of places based on our experiences. By doing so, we add to the Yelp database. With every entry that we create, we are adding to the VGI that is Yelp. Some positives about VGI. It can be just as accurate as any official geographic service, and even more so because it is based off of local knowledge. Oftentimes with VGI, it relies heavily on the community it is based within. This makes VGI unique in that it is created from the bottom up. It is also less expensive than official GIS products. This is because it's mostly volunteers who use inexpensive technologies. Many people argue that VGI is the democratic version of GIS because it can be used by anyone of any background. That being said, there are some negatives in VGI as well. Most of these negatives actually are very similar to the positives we've already discussed. So again, with accuracy. As you can expect out of any volunteer-based project, there may be some mistakes, just because these people are not officially trained. And expanding on this can also attribute to the personal biases that each contributor has, which may be reflected in the final VGI product. Additionally, it is sometimes difficult to get those volunteers to maintain the same level of participation throughout the project. Many believe that as VGI becomes more commonplace, its newness will likely wear off, unless people will continue to contribute as they lose motivation. And of course, there is the argument that VGI is not democratic at all. This is because the vast majority of the world's population lives in developing countries. In order to fully utilize VGI, a person needs broadband access. This means much of the world is underrepresented due to the uneven coverage. So I've just included some of the most commonly used VGI products. The first one we're going to be talking about is eBird. eBird uses VGI to create a global birdwatching community that can contribute to biodiversity conservation and research. With eBird, users can keep track of their bird lists, photos, and even sounds by using a mobile app that offers offline data collection that can be used anywhere in the world. And if you want to check out any of these, then I've just included the links at the end of my slides. And the next one we're going to be talking about is OpenStreetMap. This VGI application is in some ways more detailed than even Google Maps, as you can see in this New York example. This is because of the local knowledge its contributors have, which can enhance the quality through the additions of local place names that may not have been included otherwise. It is also an open data source, which just means anyone can use it for any purpose, just as long as they credit OpenStreetMap. People from all over the world use and contribute to OpenStreetMap every day. And then just to wrap things up, I've included a quote from Goodchild himself, which advocates for VGI's democratic nature. But I also wanted to point back to the counter-argument, which says otherwise. Whether or not it's democratic or not, it would be up for you to decide, the users and contributors. Because when it gets down to it, the people make VGI what it is. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this short intro to volunteer geographic information, also known